Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really, really well, looking after yourselves, looking after each other, and being as fabulous as you can be. Now today we're going to be looking at e.l.f. makeup, and we're going to be looking at the new Mint Melt collection, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. I've got 5 lines of the new collection here. It's not the biggest collection released. I think there's only about 10 lines of the collection, and we're going to concentrate on the makeup rather than the cleansing products. So what I've got here is the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer, which I have to say I love this green against my navy background. Love. So that's the Cooling Face Primer, which we'll pop on in a sec. I have got the teeny tiny palette that is the e.l.f. There's 2 palettes in this this little collection, and I've got one of them here, and this one is called Mint to Be. Mint to Be, get it? Yeah. I have one of the long-lasting No Budge eyeshadows, and this is Mint for You. Great marketing team. And I've also got 2 of the lip glosses. So we'll be popping on the mint chocolate lip gloss, which is great because I'm a huge fan of mint chocolate. And on top of that, we'll be popping on the, what's it called? Mint Sprinkle, which sounds a little bit dirty, but I like it. Now, if you do like what you see in this video today, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you get all my notifications. It really, really does help when you subscribe and when you watch the whole video, because basically I need the minutes. Okay, so let's get stuck straight in. We're going to go in with the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. And I've heard a couple of people say this is actually quite tingly when it goes on your face, so we'll find out. Okay, folks, so this is the e.l.f. Cooling Primer, and I love this colour green, by the way. I've got a real thing about sort of mint green. I just think it's so fresh and gorgeous, basically. Now, this primer is £8, and it's 30ml, which is a good size for a primer. So, let's go. Okay, so a few pumps to get it out. Ooh, it is actually green, if you can see that. Nice. Love that. So I do a couple of pumps, get my hair out my face, which is growing at the rate of knots. My hair is literally almost down to my bum. It's crazy. I look like Nana Muscuri 10 times over. So let's give that a rub. Now, I always put my primer, ooh, that is cooling. Ooh, that's really nice. Ooh, that's lovely. Oh, it's not tingly, but it is quite cooling. Now, like I say, I always put my primer on my T-zone, especially because that's where I tend to get open pores. Can I just tell you, this absolutely smells divine. It smells of chocolate. I have to say it's not spreading too far. I have to say I've kind of run out. There's nothing left to spread. And it's only kind of come to about here and about there. So I'm going to need a little bit more of the primer. So a couple more pumps on that. And just to do the rest of my face. But it is very cooling, and it really does smell of mint chocolate, and now I just want a cornetto. Okay, so the primer is on. It's a little tacky, which is no bad thing because it means the makeup will stick. It's a little tacky on my face. Again, no bad thing. It smells, I have to say, the smell is incredible. It's like this beautiful menthol chocolate ice cream goodness. It doesn't smell of ice cream. I just really want mint chocolate ice cream now. Okay, so we'll see how it takes foundation. Now, I don't have, obviously, this collection doesn't have a foundation or a concealer or anything like that. So what I'll do, I'll pop on my normal foundation that I use on top of this. I know how that feels on top of other primers, and I'll let you know once it's on. So I'm just putting my foundation on, folks, and it's going on really nice on top of the cooling primer. It's certainly not getting sort of tacky or anything. It's blending well. It's going across my forehead. Now, I actually do have another e.l.f. primer. I have the Mineralized Primer, which I really like. It goes on really nice. Foundation sticks to the Mineralized. So e.l.f. generally do really nice primers. They also do really nice concealers as well. And I will be using my e.l.f. concealer today, which is this one here. I do like e.l.f. makeup for the price, for a budget range. It's actually pretty good quality. So I've almost finished my foundation, as you can see, and it's still going on really nice. It's still blending nicely, giving good coverage on top of that cooling primer. Not bad. Not bad for £8, folks. Okay, so my concealer and my foundation is on. I gotta tell you, it's nice. It's really nice. It's basically held the foundation really well. That cooling primer has given a really nice base. It's holding the foundation. The concealer has blended on top as well. I have no complaints. Recommended. Right, I quickly chucked on my eyebrows and my eyeshadow primer because now I'm going to head into this lovely little palette here. Is this the cutest little thing you've ever seen, apart from me? It's absolutely so cute. So this is the, I love these titles, Mint to Be. I just love that. So we're going to open it up. It's got a little hanging thing on it, I think, where it's been sort of hung up in the shop. But let's try and get that off. Oh, it's actually, yeah. It would help if I'd actually paid attention because there is a little sort of pulley thing here so you can actually open it quite easily. Probably should have noticed that. Ooh, very easy. And off it comes. Okay, so there we go. It's got 4 very pretty colours. We've got 2 metallics here, a kind of mint and also a sort of silvery green as well. Very pretty. We've got a nice mint matte there, which will probably be a good transition colour to go on first. And then we've got a nice sort of darker green there, which is to go in the crease. And then we'll play with these on our lid. So let's get cracking. So this little palette here is just £4, as is the other palette in the collection, which is not bad. £1 a colour. And let's go in with this lovely mint green, which is a matte. Now, I have a funny feeling I may have to do a few layers to get some really good colour on here. Now, it's very subtle, as you can see, this mint matte. This is the 3rd layer I've put on now, and we're just starting to get some nice colour coming through. Yeah, that's very subtle. Can you see that? Really, really subtle. Okay. Now, I am also using this transition colour for the right eye as well, because even though I'm going to use that No Budge eyeshadow pen, which is this one here, I'm only going to use that really on the lid because I have a feeling that's where it's going to be giving the most impact, really. So I am just going to use the same transition colour for the right eye too. Okay, so transition colour is on. I've also just popped some blush on because I was looking very one-dimensional. Transition colour has gone on really nice. Now, it has actually, for a £4 eyeshadow, blended across my eyelids really nicely. I've got no complaints with that at all. It is a very, very subtle mint green. So we'll see how the other colours go with it, how they blend and everything. But at the moment, this is a nice little palette. It's got no complaints, really. I might have by the end, but we'll wait and see. So now we're going to go in with this darker green colour here, and I'm going to take this into the crease of my left eye and blend it out a bit and see if we can build some depth with this. Mint to be. Doesn't take much to make me laugh. Now this is a lot more pigmented, this colour. It should give us some nice depth. I'm just softening up the edges of this because this is quite dark, this colour. It is quite rich, quite highly pigmented. It's blending really nice again, which is great. Sometimes you might not expect that from a £4 eyeshadow. Well, technically a £1 eyeshadow because it's a palette of 4. But it's quite nice. It's blending nicely. Not bad, hey? I quite like that colour. It's really nice. I always like greens and blues on my eyes because I've got sort of hazel colour eyes. So it tends to make my eyes pop a bit. The colour sort of picks out the colour of my eyes really well. I don't nearly wear blues and greens as much as I should, really. I'm such a nudes girl. I do love my nudes. And but when I get to play with colour, I do really enjoy it. So I think I'm going to use some of this darker green colour now on my lower lash line, just so we can pick that up. And it should look pretty nice together. We'll see. Yeah, that's quite nice. I quite enjoy that. That is really nice, actually. It doesn't look too heavy on the lower lash line. And when we start playing with the metallics in a sec, I'll mix some metallic into that lower lash line as well. Just bring it out to the bit. I'm not going to put any liquid liner on today. Sometimes if I'm playing with really colourful eyes, I don't use liquid liner because I just really want to make the main focus the colour that we're playing with. And I'm not going to use any today either. Nice. Okay, so let's look at the lid now and start playing with some metallics. I love my metallics, as you know. So what we'll do, I'm going to save this, I think, for the inner corner of the eye. And what we'll do is we'll start with this absolutely gorgeous mint metallic green there over the sort of main part of our lid. And where's my brush? We'll use some setting spray on the brush so I really get the most out of that pigment and that metallic. Okay, so I've popped some setting spray onto a very, very thin brush there. It's kind of like a lip brush actually, but I really like this kind of brush to really get into the sort of inner parts of my eyes. Not my eyes, my eyelids. That'd be weird. So, oops, wrong eye. So let's pop some of this fantastic, whoa, look at that. That fantastic mint colour on the eyelid. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Look at that. God, I am such a sucker for metallics. If it shines, I'm like, get it on my eyes. That's really beautiful. Now you can see there, this is, you know, £4 for this palette, guys. And look at that colour that's coming off of that metallic. You would not expect a £1 metallics, it's a palette of 4, to give you this kind of shine and bling and fabulousness. That metallic green is now all over my left eyelid. Do you know what? I've got to be really honest. I think that is the best, one of the best green palettes I've ever used. That metallic green has gone on so well. The other colours have really blended. For a kind of final, almost final result, that is one of the best I've ever used. And that is a £4 palette in the new Mint collection. Mint Melt. It can melt all over my face anytime. That sounded really wrong. So now I'm going to use some of this sort of silvery mint colour here for the inner corner of my eye, which I think is just going to look divine, if I'm honest with you. I hope so. Just lovely. So the silvery green colour on the inner corner, you can see there, it has given a bit of a highlight. Again, it's very, very subtle, a bit like the sort of transition colour. But, you know, I don't want it to be, you know, over highlighting and drawing focus away from the main part of the eye. I'm just going to pull it under a bit as well to meet with that sort of darker green there. And then I'm just going to use my blending brush to pop a little bit more of the darker green on the outside there and just kind of bring this look together. I actually think it really helps having a dark background, doesn't it? What do you think's better? Dark background, light background? Let me know. I'm still learning all this YouTube business. Okay, so I'm going to pop some mascara now on this left eye so we can see what that completed look looks like. Like I say, I'm not going to use liquid liner today because with the green, I really just want to focus on getting a really good dramatic look using these gorgeous colours. Love it. Love, love, love. Well done, e.l.f. This is very good. Well, this is our completed left eye. And I have to say, I really, really like it. Well done, e.l.f. It's beautiful. I literally would go as far as to say it is one of the best green collections I think I've ever used. It's blended well. It looks beautiful. I just love that green there. Absolutely gorgeous. I have no complaints. So let's switch our attention now, guys, to our right eye. Now, I've already put the transition colour on, as you know, but we're going to now try another new product, and this is the No Budget eyeshadow. No budget? That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? No Budge eyeshadow, and this is in the colour, as I said, Mint for You. Seriously, who's your marketing team? Amazing. Okay, so it's a nice chunky, not too chunky, pencil there, if you can see that. And because I've already put the transition colour on, I think what I'll do is I'll go straight in with this on the lid, and then we'll see how much we need to maybe put in the crease line and what kind of result this gives us. So I've got my little compact mirror here because I'm quite blind. So I'm just drawing it straight across the lid. Already I can see a nice bit of colour coming out there. Look at that. Nice. It's very smooth, I have to tell you. Sometimes with sort of pencil shadows, you know, or crayon shadows, they can be a little bit scratchy sometimes. And your eyelid obviously is a very, very tender bit of skin. But this is actually really nice and smooth. I like. Now, the only thing I sometimes find with sort of crayon eyeshadows is the crease. Basically, as soon as you sort of start to move your eyes around and move your eyelids around a bit, they do tend to sort of show a crease. Now, I have obviously, as I said, primed my eyes with primer, but I'm already slightly seeing, if you can see there, that it is starting to go a little bit translucent in the crease area. But we'll keep going. So I'm actually going to build this out to a bit of a wing. And already I'm having to go over bits I've already done. So the colour's beautiful. There's no denying that. That colour is gorgeous. I'm sat on a bit of a lower chair today and I'm like, whoop, trying to get up to you. That is really nice. I suspect it's going to kind of go in the crease and start to disperse a bit. But we'll see. We'll carry on. I think we are going to need that crease, that darker in the crease, and see how we get on with that. And it'll be interesting to see if this shadow palette, if this nice dark colour here, which we're going to use in the crease now, if that does blend in with the consistency of the crayon eyeshadow. Only one way to find out, kids. Okay, so as I'm putting this darker green in the crease line, it's not so much blending as just laying on top of the eyeshadow we've just put on. I suspect we're not going to get a great result as we have on that eye. I suspect the textures of the different eyeshadows might not work together, but we won't give up. We shall keep going. Yeah, so what's happened is basically that darker green eyeshadow on the No Budge sort of eyeshadow pen has basically just layered on top of the eyeshadow pen. And what it's done, it's made the darker eyeshadow get a lot lighter, which actually has given a really pretty colour. It's really nice, but it's not kind of given the sort of definition and difference between the two colours as using the same consistency in the palette has, if that makes sense. But I don't hate it. I quite like it. It's very, I mean, these colours are beautiful that it produces. There's no doubt about that. It's a very pretty collection. What do you think? I'm going to actually go back in with this No Budge eyeshadow pen just to try and get a bit more of the lighter green over on the lid. And actually, it's doing exactly what I suspected it would. The two sort of different textures aren't going well together. I slightly suspect after an hour or so, this will all look like one colour. Okay, so now looking at the lower lash line, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the No Budge again with an angle brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of product off the top there. And I'm going to pop it into the centre of my lower lash line, just to see if we can get it moving there and sort of bring that look together a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's giving a very sort of subtle wash of colour when used with a brush, but it's definitely going on. It's definitely, you know, looking pretty. And what I'll do, I'm going to take the matte green from the eyeshadow palette there and just pop it onto the outer corner once I've wiped my brush. So I'm just trying to keep it all very light on this lower lash line of the right eye, rather than sort of a bit more dramatic that we did on the left. I literally just looked in the palette there to check the eye, and there's no mirror. There's no mirror, no. It's been a long day. So I've kept it quite light and pretty on that right lower lash line there, just to give a sort of different look. I have to say, you know, for a little foreshadow palette and a, you know, an eyeshadow pen, a No Budge pen, you can probably mix this up quite a bit and get lots of different looks with it, which is what I always love to do. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some mascara on the right eye and I'll be right back. So mascara's on. Now, it's been about 10 minutes. I purposely left the camera for a minute because I wanted to see how this No Budge eyeshadow pen worked. So if you look, you may just be able to see it is already starting to crease there, which I suspected it would do. A lot of sort of cream eyeshadows and crayon eyeshadows tend to do that. So if you are like me and over 40, and I do try and sort of give you tips on how to look after your skin when you're over 40 and, you know, what best makeup to use and how to use it. Possibly avoid the creams because we are starting to get little lines and, you know, our eyelids do start to lower and the skin does start to get looser. And if you're going to use a cream eyeshadow or a crayon pen eyeshadow like this is, you know, although it's beautiful colour, I cannot fault these colours. They're absolutely gorgeous and the consistency feels lovely. If you're of a slightly older skin, I think eventually, you know, even after 10 minutes, that's starting to crease on me. It's just going to show everything. So I possibly wouldn't recommend that for an older person. If you're younger, in your teens or your 20s, then that could actually work out really well for you. Or, you know, if you're 40 or 50 and use tons of Botox, use it too, because I'll be doing that soon, I'm sure. What's really interesting, and I don't know if you'll see this in the camera, it might not be able to pick up because it's very subtle, is the mascara on my left eye. It's black mascara that I've used completely, but the mascara on my left eye is black. But for some reason, the mascara on my right eye has really kind of reflected off of the eyeshadow that I've used, and it looks like a really dark forest green. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but it definitely does. Quite like it. Right, so eyes are done. We love them. I have to say, this palette is £4, guys. Put it in your makeup collection. It's a gorgeous little palette. It's not going to do you any wrong. Hopefully it will last most of the day. We'll soon find out. I really recommend that little palette. It's great. I recommend the cooling primer as well because, you know, it's an £8 primer. It looks cute as anything. And my foundation went on beautifully. It blended nice. It's staying on. It's fine. The only thing I did find with the primer is I did need quite a lot of the product to get it across my whole face. So now that we've done our eyes, guys, let's look at the lips. And the first lip gloss we're going to look at is the Lip Pumping Gloss. There we go. We like a lip pumping gloss. This one is in mint chocolate. If it smells as divine as the primer smelt, we're in trouble. I might eat it. So again, the packaging is super cute on this. It's got the same little hook, so I'm presuming we just kind of rip it open. Right. Now, I generally don't wear a lip liner, guys. I like what's called a floating lip, which is basically don't wear lip liner. I just prefer that look, but I do tend to slightly bring my lip gloss up a bit. You can see you've kind of got the line of your lip and then you've got the kind of outer line of your lip. And I do tend to take my lip gloss to that outer line. So I'm just going to give it a mix because it's a nice new lip gloss and sometimes the oils do separate. So always give it a nice mix. Let's go. Oh my God. That smells divine. That is really, really mint chocolate. Nice, 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 nice. So, really nice consistency. Moving over the lip, really nice. Smells, and actually the smell is so strong, I'm actually getting a taste of it in my mouth now. And I really want a cornetto. Look at that shine on that lip gloss. That's really pretty. Now, the actual colour is not sort of overbearing. It's actually a really nice sort of subtle brown. But I'm not convinced that it goes with the eyeshadow because it's all part of the same collection. Actually, this is really tingling on my lips now. Woo. Wow, that's really tingly. Whenever I see light eyeshadow with a brown, this kind of like colour, like a blue or a green with a brown lipstick, it just reminds me of the 90s for some reason, because that's kind of the makeup that we used to wear back then. I watched a TikTok video the other day and they said if you're one of the older people on TikTok, you know, born in the late 90s. Seriously. Okay, so this lip gloss is really, really nice. It's a lovely colour, lovely soft beige, which I like. It's gone on really nice. It's blended. It's really tingly. And I have to say, for me, it's almost at the point of stinging my lips. Sorry, e.l.f. Now, I could have very sensitive lips, maybe. I do have quite sensitive skin, so it could be that. It's not hurting as such. I mean, it is a lip pumping gloss, so that's what they do. They do kind of sting because they're going to make your lips go a bit bigger. My lips are quite big anyway. I don't know that I want them much bigger, but yeah, that's quite stingy. That's quite, yeah. So what I'm going to do on top of this mint chocolate lip pumping gloss, I'm going to pump them even more. So I think my lips are going to sting quite badly in a minute with this, was this Mint Sparkle this one was called? I can't remember. Mint Sparkle, yeah. So, I mean, it's, again, mix it up. It's a very clear lip gloss. You can see that there. Very clear lip gloss with a nice sort of green sparkle in it. So we're going to pop that on top of the brown just because I want to see if we can, you know, make my lips sting even more. So this is giving a really nice sort of subtle wash of sparkles. And it has slightly sort of diluted, if you like, the beige colour and brought it down to it being even more nude. And actually, I think I prefer the colour with that mint sparkle on to match with the eyes. Before, I thought it was too separated, like a cool tone and a warm tone. And you kind of never really should mix cool tones and warm tones. You know, you're either going for a cool look or a warm look. But with that mint sparkle on top, because that is a cool tone, that basically makes the lip gloss that we put on before, the mint chocolate, blend in better with the eyes. So yeah, much prefer that. It's a great little collection. Really good little collection. Now, I'm just noticing my lips aren't stinging anymore. They are basically, putting that mint sparkle on top hasn't made them sting more. And actually, it's just starting to settle now. I wondered if it was going to go too far the other way and really hurt, but actually, it's kind of settled a bit. There we go. So guys, this is our finished look using the new e.l.f. Mint Melt collection. I've got to say, I really like it. What a great little collection. Not loads of items in the collection, but that's fine. And today we've used the cooling face primer. Like I say, you did need a few pumps of this to get enough to go all over your face, or maybe I've just got a big face, who knows. But once it was on, it smelt amazing. It smelt of mint chocolate, and it gave a really nice base for my foundation, as you can see. And I used my e.l.f. concealer as well, which took it all blended nice. It all moved across the face nice. I have no complaints, apart from the fact you needed quite a bit of the product to get it across your face. So next we use the Mint to Be palette. And I think this palette is a palette of joy. It's £4. And if you can look there, it's given a really nice on the left eye. Lovely, lovely look. On the right eye, I've used part of it, but I've also used the next product that we used, which was the No Budge Shadow Pen there. Like I say, I think the texture has just starting to crease because I have slightly older skin. With a younger skin, I think that would probably be a really lovely product. Do you know the reason I stopped then? Because I was thinking, oh, that's a nice screenshot for the cover pic. So after we use the shadow, we then use the two lip glosses in Mint Chocolate and then in Mint Sparkle as well. And they were both giving really nice coverage. Both of them together get a really nice colour. Did start to sting initially, but they are lip plumping glosses. And of course, lip plumping glosses, what did I say then? Lip plumping glosses. Try and say that 5 times. Lip plumping glosses. Can't do it. Of course, lip pumping glosses do sting your lips a bit because they're basically plumping up your lips. So, do I recommend e.l.f.'s new Mint Melt collection? Yes, I do. I think it's lovely. I think for the price, they are really good quality products. I think there's lots of different looks you can achieve with the little palettes. There is another palette that also has some browns in it as well to sort of go with the lips as well. Historically, I've never really used a lot of e.l.f. products. Like I said, I do have the Mineralized Primer. I do use their concealer. But actually, I haven't really used a lot of their makeup in the past, and I'm starting to use it more and more now. For a budget brand, I think their products are lovely. So I really recommend the new Mint Melt collection. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. As always, I will put links below to all the products that we've used today. It would mean the world to me if you would like this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe so you can look at my face more and we can play and have fun with lots of makeup. So guys, please continue to look after yourselves and each other. Hopefully we are not far away from being out of this pandemic. I actually had my first vaccination on Tuesday. I'm weirdly excited. I've already had COVID anyway, but you know, hopefully I won't get it again. So guys, do take care and I'll see you soon.